Showtime!
Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Welcome to Everyone Racers.
Do not adjust your screen.
Yo, it is party time, so be a dude and don't touch that dial. This is a takeover. Everyone put your hands in the air.
It's party takeover.
All right, you're supposed to read the pink part there, Tim.
All right, and this is a takeover. Everybody put your hands in the air. We're Sorry for Party Racing, and this is the Sorry for Party podcast. Welcome to episode 330. It's the boring BMW 330. Built from 2001 to 2006 as the E46 platform, and then again in 17 and 18 as the E90, and from 19 to current as the F30 platform. Check out your bingo card. We've got a special for this episode.
That is true. We actually do have a special episode. As we have mentioned, takeover time. So we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Holy crap, dude. Matt, you've been busy. What you working on?
So we purchased our first EV daily driver, Polestar 2. So that was a bit of a thrash getting through all that. I won't get into the details this moment. Need to get a few updates done on the Corvette Challenge Domination C6 to prep for another series of Ultimate Domination.
Did you lose a race in that last year? Did you lose a single race in the Corvette Challenge last year that you actually entered?
I did, and it's because I stuffed it backwards into the hill in the Omega at Big Willow and broke a wheel.
Oof. Okay.
So I came in second. So with a broken wheel, I came in second, and a flat tire.
Oh, that's dope.
Other than that, every race I did, I came in first. So yeah, she's going to get Hoosiers R7s this year to run modified. Alternator upgrade, get a little more weight out of it within the rules, passenger racing seat, and the Party Bird, now that she is LS1 powered, sitting behind Timmy over
behind
there.
Tim, yes.
Also needs some electrical work, alternator wiring updates, needs shocks rebuilt. So there's a few more things that need to be done to get ready for February. But yeah, plenty of projects. And I won't even mention the Solstice. I'll leave it for Tim.
What about this thing over here, Matt? Should we talk about that thing at all?
I'm not working on it yet. Future episode.
So just off the screen is a super secret Sorry for Party project. Cool.
Which has been sitting there for 13 months now.
I don't think any of our listenership is going to mock you at all for having, projects that last over a year. And certainly not anyone on this screen is going to say squat about having long-term projects.
There is another super secret one that's parked on the street out there, which I'm not going to mention. Oh yeah, to say that there's a lot of projects piling up is an understatement, and that's like the non-work stuff. Cheers.
There we go. All right.
Also took a new job. Took a new job in December, working for a company that's overseas. So yeah, crazy.
Yes. I did put on the proper shirt for this one, so I had to bring out. I was gonna do the "Don't Wheel Me, Bro," but I thought one of you two would beat me to it, so I didn't want to do it. And oh, all right. So my past weekend, I drove up to Oakland to return my loaner 911. I miss it. It's so good. I have been making progress on the Honda that we covered last week. More on that in a tiny little bit. And right now I got to get all my crap packed because right as this episode airs, I am on a plane to Alabama to run the season opener at Barber.
I'm still dying to get back to that track.
Oh, I just, I had the opportunity and I had to jump on it. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Tim, I cut you off. What were you working on?
Well, I am up here visiting Matt because we have a couple of projects. We're redoing his bathroom, so we've been doing tiling. And but the big reason is I've got a LS3 right next to me that we rebuilt. That's going to go back in my 2008 Corvette. A supercharged, fun thing right up until we cracked the piston on it. So we tore it down to nothing and rebuilt it. So we got some nice forged goodies that went into it. So that's a big part of it. But we're hoping to do a little bit of work on the TWAP. So the WAP 2.0. We want to try to get a better brake system in that. So
and we all know about the mighty wet ass Pontiac, but tell everybody what the TWAP.
So the TWAP is the turbo WAP. So TWAP, and we debuted it at Button Willow last year. Car ran awesome. It's fast. It's a ton of fun. The brakes are horrible. It ate both of the front rotors. And ST43 pads. One of them I think got bound up, and it literally just torched both of them.
There is a reason every one of those cars died in a front end accident. Seriously, you can't find one that wasn't crashing the front end. It's because the brakes are fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure a dump truck will stop faster than that thing. It's
the original. Wait, yeah, the original WAP. Yeah, totally. You know, what was, and then and I still maintain that by owning or at least having 3 of them, you guys do represent double-digit percentages of the remaining Pontiac slowest, in the country.
We certainly have enough parts to have double-digit.
And I'm gonna, for our YouTube viewers, just to be mean, this is the current status of Matt's bathroom. This was like the grandma's bathroom down there.
Oh, it had butterfly wallpaper. It was, it was.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Spectacular.
It was. And I remember both, Lish and you saying, "Oh, if you want a good shower, just use grandma's old bathroom," because that was the one with the good water pressure. This looks fantastic though. I love that color. That is just awesome.
Yeah. So the red is actually waterproofing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
good.
the black, the mosaic tiles going in, it's going to be black all the way around and white up top. Glass door. It's going to be all nice hardware. So yeah, it's been going on since March 10th.
Let's not talk about
that. While you were getting set up, Tim admitted that basically the trick why he is such a bad influence is he just shows up and randomly does demo. And then
I was at work and Tim was like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming down. We were going to work on cars and and maybe we'll do another project, like a day or two of bathroom renovation, right?" So I come home and the walls are torn off the room.
Sheetrock's gone.
There was a sledgehammer, with a smile on his face. I'm like, "Oh, this is rad." And something like 200 hours of labor, and 9 months later, we're trying to button it up. So, and I wanted to talk about the budget.
Yeah. Well, Matt has been a victim of his own change order. We'll say that.
There you go. All right. So yeah,
kind of fun. It's going to be awesome when it's done.
It's always great to have handy friends. You just can't leave them unsupervised on demo day.
That is accurate.
Or like Dean rewiring the race car, ripping stuff out, throwing it away, and walking off. "Oh, I got to get home, guys. I'll see you later." The car doesn't leave. That's a true story. Not here to defend himself.
No. He asked for this. Okay. Oh, this is great. Thank you guys for sharing. We'll move on to this part. And because you guys are guest host, you're not guest. So we'll go on to news and notes.
So, hey, remember that story about the shady dealer and Dodge dealer in Mississippi? The short version is they sold on order to spec Challenger Hellcat Demon to a soldier who agreed to pay $50K over sticker. Then when they sold another special order car, gave it to that customer. The Spider found out.
Soldier, sorry, that's bad spelling. God, man, how drunk was I?
Soldier found out.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Well, we can clip this out, right? So
no, I don't edit.
The soldier found out, raised a stink, and Dodge got involved, giving him an exact order at MSRP and getting Jay Leno to present it. Not a bad dig, not a bad gig after the fact. Surprise, the general manager, sales manager, and salesperson are all fired. Mac Hike, I don't know who that is, sorry. Fleetwood, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, known for price gouging, has terminated all of them, according to a public post. The original ordered car, once the new owner found out what he had, he returned it. Be a dude, don't be a dick, right? And now the dealer is auctioning it off with proceeds going to a charity of choice of the active duty service member. Link to the story, Nico Di Mattia on the driver. So in our show notes, but you can say damage control. I mean, they did a good job considering.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, good for them doing the right thing. I mean, the owner turning it in is pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Normally, Hellcat Challengers, not always the best people, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a tendency, isn't there? Isn't there?
Yes.
Well, Mental, you work for the federal government, and why don't they have a sense of humor? The AP, Wall Street Journal, and other outlets, including Jeff Peake and Haggerty, let us know the latest on the electronic sign battle going on between local governments and the National Traffic and Highway Safety Administration. The ruckus is over amusing electronic signs like visiting the in-laws? Well, slow down, get there late from Ohio. States now have 2 years to implement changes outlined in a new 1,100-page manual. This includes general information signs like electronic message boards. The manual explains that signage should be simple, direct, brief, legible, and clear, and only be used for important information. So goodbye to the don't drive star-spangled hammered, and so long hocus pocus, drive with focus, and so long hands on the wheel, not your meal. We hardly ever knew you. It's a great read, and you can check it out in the link in our show notes.
It is particularly annoying. They actually did studies that said more people pay attention when it's funny, but they thought the government's like, it's distracting. All right.
Be distracted than falling asleep or playing with your phone.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, I don't want to play on my phone. I want to see what the funny sign is. Was the one up near where you reside in the warmer months, Tim? It was use your blinker, and it was
use your blinker.
Now, in the heading of upcoming films we will pretend we are forced to go to, Stephen Cole Smith tells us that the untitled F1 movie with Brad Pitt was filming recently at the Roar before the 24 this year at Daytona, and even at the 24 hours of Daytona and Le Mans itself. 60-year-old Brad Pitt was spotted near the track at Daytona. In this movie, which is co-produced by Sir Lewis Hamilton, Brad plays race driver Sonny Hayes. In an interview, Brad said he has a horrible crash, kind of craps out, and disappears in his racing in other disciplines. His friend, played by Javier Bardem, who was the creepy guy from No Country for Old Men, is the team owner. They're a last place team, 21 and 22 on the grid. They've never scored a point. They have a young phenom played by Damson Idris. He brings me in as a kind of Hail Mary, and hijinks ensue. They have already filmed at the British and Las Vegas Grand Prix. Brad likes it, and he is quoted as saying, "I'm a little giddy right now. I've got to say it. It's great to be here, having such a laugh, the time of my life." And when I originally wrote this, it was going to be Dean, and Dean wanted to add that also they talked about Race for Glory, which is Audi versus Lancia. I'm going to watch it. And I know it's going to be full of all the trite of, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win. Don't care. It is going to be fantastic. And this focuses on the real life story of the 1983 World Rally Championship and the battle for the manufacturer's title. It showcases the true life events of a very intense rivalry between the two marques as they competed for the manufacturer's title. It's directed by Stefano Mordini. It was released in U.S. theaters in January 5th, but it is going to be available on demand in multiple streaming platforms. And normally I like to go see movies like this on the big screen, but I feel like in my living room, in front of the TV with the volume, exactly. And like the full up volume all the way up. Yes. And for those not watching on YouTube, Matt is pointing to his rather large TV.
It's a wall of entertainment.
It is. Yeah. So links to all of that stuff is in our show notes, but we're also going to show another link. Now, Tim, you just talked about your Corvette, and Matt, you talked about your Corvette. Right? You guys like Corvettes.
Owners, racers.
Who doesn't like Corvettes?
Okay. So out of y'all, Who do you think's going to get a C8 first?
Matt.
All
I
right.
raised my hand for everyone else. It's
Okay.
I mean, honestly, the Polestar 2 probably punts that to the right a little bit. But it was, I'll be honest, the Polestar is just as quick from 0 to 60 as the C8 is. So that's pretty cool. But I've been thinking really hard about the E-Ray. But anyway, I'll let you continue with your story.
Yes, the E-Ray is impressive. And the Corvette Club's already banned it from track days.
Well, they banned it and then they let it back in, I think.
Oh, okay.
I heard they let it back in. There was some kerfuffle over it. Yeah.
All right. So I figure one is going to end up with a pre-owned. And that's just what we're talking about here. And there's two bits of good news. One is the hype seems to be rescinding and they are getting much, much more reasonable. And two is that on racingjunk.com, you can find some of these more reasonably priced. Now, granted, this one is, it's a lame color, but this is a 2014 silver, barely got 4,000 miles on it, and it's in Tennessee. Single owner. They've got the build sheet. The guy chose museum delivery. I think the color is called Silver Flare. So you can have at least two of your pieces of flare. It's got the yellow seat belt. It's got both of the tops, the glass one and the metal, the body colored one. And it's got the sports seats. And it is only $75,000. You could almost argue that this it's not an investment, but you could argue that it's an investment because you can put your plaque out in front of it at the Cars and Coffee and say, one of this many produced with this one. But
that thing would look great multicolor zebra striped.
Yeah.
It really, that's how you get rid of that lame color is you totally rainbow zebra camouflage this baby.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even got the seat belts to match.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Good catch. I didn't even see that one. Oh man. And what's not lame, you got to go use that code POD23, get your Racing Junk Pro membership, do some joy scrolling. You get all the ads. You get to turn off all the advertisements. You get early updates. You get an ad credit. You get discounts in the store for t-shirts, all that kind of stuff. Check out racingjunk.com. That's our favorite place to kill time. And it's a good place for you to do so.
I'm going to go put in Pod 23 while we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, good. Because we're worried that they may have switched it to Pod 24, but we don't know yet.
I will tell you here in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's fantastic. And while Matt is typing that up, it is finally, even in the dead of winter, time for upcoming races. And Lemons is at Barber, the Augusta of racetracks, for the season opener.
It's a great race.
I know Mental's going to be there, but in addition to Mental, there are 139 cars signed up, 13 BMWs, 7 Miatas, 4 Hondas, and 1 Porsche. There's a 5th host, Eric Rude, added. There are 9 former overall winners and probably 10 to 12 IOE cars on the list. So huge race is usually 131 cars with 139. God help me if the weather goes south, is what Eric said.
Which it has been doing the last couple of weeks down there. Oh.
So some highlights from the entry list. Jeep Comanche and a Dodge Dakota with the AMC4 engine, we think. Plus a Grand Cherokee for good measure.
Yes.
Both of the Dodge Celebrity Challenge Daytonas will be there. Rookies,
and that's Don Dokken and Rick Schroeder.
That's so good.
That's amazing.
Rookies with a Rabbit Diesel. Rookies with a Pinto powered Opel GT. I want that actually. Rookies with a Jag XJ6. TR8 and a Rover SD1 that still have Rover 3.5 liter in them. So get your Lucas banners out. Baller ass town car with a Lando top, and of course the Vannenball.
Zach for the win.
Then Johan's teammates are going to be running the super exclamation point Beetle. Pour some out for the GDO man and expect the Lemons crew to do something special for that.
And so just up the road, Champ Cars at Road Atlanta for the season opener.
and they have 94 cars. 16 of those are BMWs, 27 Miatas, 27 Miatas.
That is
27.
43 cars or BMWs or Miatas.
Oh my goodness. 8 Hondas and 8 Porsches.
So that's actually a lot of cars for Champ Car.
That's a lot of cars.
Yeah, they've got their tracks where they do well, and Road Atlanta is one of those. In addition to that, they have a Nissan Micra Cup and a Ford Ranger. Hell yeah!
I ain't no stranger. That's a Ford Ranger.
Oh, now we don't have any recent results, but listener feedback. My buddy Maddie reached out to say on a picture of my Honda swap, which we talked about last week in the Project Car investigation episode. I am so familiar with unfinished brown top swaps. I was worried I might have actually owned that car once. And even though Chris and Chrissy aren't here,
Hi to Chrissy's mom.
Hi, Chrissy's mom.
Hi, Chrissy's mom. We think you might be listening, but we understand if you're not. All right, guys.
Is it time for a beer break?
If you need to run to the fridge, go for it. Yeah. All right. So they're pounding their beers, and here's what. Well, they're not even beers. They're claws, brah. We're gonna throw this out there. You go to the track and you spend most of your day. Yeah, and it's not even going to do the way I like on that one. So you spend most of your day actually not racing, and you need to know how to spend your time. And some of that's probably some recuperation. Hang on a second. Let me do this real quick. Ah, damn it. Now, why don't you say something? Say, oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna get it to, take over the speaker gallery on that one. All right. You're going to spend your time not racing, and the crew from Sorry for Party, and they know how to spend their time at the track, are here to talk about how you can make that time better, because the whole thing's supposed to be an experience, right?
It totally is. I mean, that's the best part about Lemons is all of the people that are in the paddock. It's there's a lot of things to do, a lot of places to go and go racing and spend your money, but the Lemons people, in my opinion, are the best.
I wish I could scroll through the messages on the thread all the way up to when you were at the I don't want to say the series, but the race at VIR, and it was like just the saddest paddock. The sun was up. It's a beautiful day. You got the douche jams going, and the camera's right there on the claw, and it just pans to an empty paddock. It was just
for everyone's benefit. I was there with other friends who also have raced Lemons. And it was very expensive toter homes all around. I got music blasting by myself. And I'm taking selfies, like pretending to party by myself in the paddock.
We need Jeff's sad trombone right now.
Yes. VAR was fantastic. It was all boring BMWs there because it's another series. Look, if you want seat time, you can get it all kinds of places, but you don't get this.
Yeah. Go walk around the paddock, introduce yourself, talk to people. It's the best part, and hopefully you're not also having wrenching on your crap.
We're also having people drive our doors off and punting us off the track, and then not even coming over to talk about it.
And that's not Lemons. Yeah, exactly. Folks in there overdriving their car because they're not the ones that have to fix it.
That's right. Yeah. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So you guys talked that you guys went through some of that stuff, having fun. What's you guys is, meeting the other teams, but while racing is actually going on, some of your favorite stuff to do when you're not refueling a car or driving a car.
Well, Matt and I, there's usually not a lot of times that we're not driving the car because we bring a lot of cars and we just constantly solidify the seat whore mentality. But when you're not, drink some Gatorade and go in and chat with people, that your garage neighbors or your paddock neighbors. And it's always cool to jump on the e-bike and scoot around the paddock and see what guys are doing. Like sometimes people are there and they're pile of broken whatever you want to call their vehicle, and just give them like a pat on the back and be like, man, you guys are gonna get it together. Like, keep working on it. So you're looking good. And you walk away and you're like, but give them a little love.
Or you walk around with open containers and you point and laugh. I mean, there's plenty of that as well.
Well, that's after checkers, yes.
or the El Camino already tried to kill itself. So you're like, I'm not racing anymore today. Take the band off.
To speak for Tim, another, the dude puts a lot of time into these one-off events, like the memorial for the WAP. The amount of time that Tim put into that was fantastic. For
that was so fun.
Benefit, so Dean, who couldn't make it tonight, crashed the WAP at Thunderhill last year. Well, it was involved in a crash.
I'll say he had some help. I think, yeah.
It was help. Yeah. But he was driving and it crashed. Let's put it that way. It was the end of the car. The following race, Tim had put together a dummy wearing Party Rock gear and a bubble machine and all these little signs. And we went out there the night before. We all chalked the concrete in the hot pit. I couldn't believe Lemons let us run the race with all that crap out on the pit wall.
We left it on the hot pit wall. I was like, can we put it out there? And they're like, yeah. So I'll have to take it down. And they're like, no, that's fine over there. Just leave it.
Straight away.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I thought for sure all this stuff was going to get blown away as cars were going by at 120 or whatever there. Stay all weekend.
It was fine. It was fine. I did a in memorial or in memoriam little thing I was going to do at the funeral service, which we ended up not having because we were having one for the transmission on the El Camino instead. But I did a QR code on the live this life and did blah blah blah, all the races it had done and how it had finished, and the QR code, and I was handing them out at tech, and one of the guys that was teching behind us takes his phone out and he scans a QR code, and I queued it up right to the I'm sexy and you know it part where the guy's just like slinging his manhood like right in the cabin. The guy's like, oh geez. So it was awesome. So do dumb things. It's fun.
Do dumb things. Yeah, make people laugh.
Yeah.
Walk around in a Speedo where people don't believe, like, can't even imagine why this guy's doing this. Because you make friends because, like, that guy's insane. He knows how to have a good time. Let's have a chat with him.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he's a pretentious douchebag at all, because he is wearing that outfit. He is clearly comfortable laughing at himself.
I'll give a shout out to like the guys from Loose Nuts Racing. Their first race was Thunderhill. They were right across the paddock from us, and they came over a bunch of times and were hanging out and chit-chatting, and like those guys get it. I think they've won every HMG race they've been to.
They are undefeated.
Like everyone.
They moved out to Tennessee.
Half of them. I think just Rusty moved out there, so he's still going back.
He took the car and the super cool golf cart. Got to see them at NCM, and I think they are actually coming to Barber. So that's going to be those guys, they absolutely do get it. Talk to me about this hatch in the Porsche going back in.
Oh, so Dean is working on, I wish he was here to talk about it. Dean's working on putting a hatch back in the 944, I think for aero purposes.
Okay. Sure.
So,
all right.
I don't know if there was more to talk about there, but
yeah.
Well, if you take, I'll chime in a little bit. So at Button Willow, where Dean spent a lot of money ruining a motor to win a wooden plaque to do one lap.
50-50 weight balance? Worth it.
Worth it.
Worth it. I did give him a shirt that says that, by the way, with screenshot from that wrap-up video.
Yes. Fantastic. Again. Him, mad props on that
one. So he while he was trying to figure out, how to get parts and how to fix the car, I was like, Dean, there's like, those guys have 8 944s parked over there at the race shop. Like, go and check it out. So he went over there Sunday morning, and he was like, they have everything. And he ended up buying the part that he needed, and also a top, and I think like 3 other things too, because Dean.
Yeah. Dean's gonna hurl cubic dollars at a problem. And I like this last thing. So Dean's the one that wrote this, but there are, I personally, I have so many friends that I literally only see at the racetrack, and it hurts my heart. And it's why I don't like spending time with people I don't like, because I'm like, dude, I got like 50 racing friends that I don't get to see, and I'm wasting my time with you. So I'm going to leave because you suck, and I'm going to go hang out with people who don't suck. And it almost feels like an obligation before I start doing it, just catching up with old friends. But I always love it when I do, just get to walk around and see people that, like the New Hampshire race. There are people that I see once a year, and I see them at New Hampshire.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you can also just put like a giant flamingo on a trailer with a hot tub and put your friends in it, and then drive around and meet new people.
And when he says flamingo, he means giant inflatable flamingo, like the size of a kiddie pool. Actually, like the size of it's damn near the size of a regular pool.
I mean, it takes up the entire trailer. So okay, let's paint a picture here for those of people who haven't heard of this. So way back when, I'm going to say 2012, 13, 14, back when party racing was going hard in New England, Northeast. We used to throw raves, and I'm like, no kidding, raves. In New Hampshire, we'd close the garage doors. It was too cold outside. We'd have smoke machines, DJs spinning. I mean, it was a rave.
Yeah, so I do remember those. Those are because the whole thing you guys all got your start back on the East Coast.
Yeah. Well, we before we met Tim, yes. So the party racing team was all based in Connecticut and around New England. So when I moved out to California, and then ironically Dean showed up soon after, we were always kind of complaining, like, there's a lot of cool people out here, right, in California, but nobody does anything that dumb at the track. I mean, it used to happen, I guess, years ago. Maybe some of it was the stunt and exploding rules, whatnot. But so we started trying to bring it back. And so, hot tub on Corey's trailer, flatbed trailer. That was when Chris and Chrissy actually were at Buttonwillow with us.
Hold on, because I actually have this video. Let me get this to work. All right, I'm not going to share sound on this one, but yes. So there it is, and then that's you guys all. And that's Sonoma, but the video that is coming up is this was your birthday party at the Butt a couple of years ago. There's some loser that used to do some of those wrap up videos. Guy needs a haircut. I don't know what his problem is. All right, here we go. Yes, there it is. So there's you guys rolling in the hot tub on the trailer. Got the rave going. Judge Kristen. Yes. And here comes the truck.
Yeah, Chris was driving.
Yes. Boom. You got we got the lights. You got
lights,
the music.
Hot tub.
Dean's following in the golf cart.
Yes. Christy may or may not have fallen off of the trailer and lost some flesh on the paddock.
If we need a topic for just the tip, it's put railings on your trailer when you're partying around the paddock at 11 p.m.
So we went to duplicate this on the East Coast at New Jersey. And folks, I've big spoiler. I've known Matt we did the math on this. Has it been 11 or 12 years now? I think we're sneaking up on 13.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. I ran out here with a NASA team that was running enduros, and I had to be in New Jersey for this race because we had a big plan. We ended up winning Halloween Meets Gasoline, and I wanted to be a part of that one. And it was during a NASA enduro, and the team's like, well, do you know anybody that can drive, won't tear up the car, and isn't an asshole, because my NASA team out here likes to drink? And I'm like, I do, actually. And so Matt rolled out there, and he embarrassed me by being way faster than I was in the E46. But that we had to duplicate that in New Jersey. So we had the hot tub on the trailer, and we got pulled over by New Jersey track security because they didn't think it was safe, and we were spilling water. To which I think Chris just kept driving.
Just lemons.
So I'm not sure if they're listeners or not, but I do want to apologize for the team at Buttonwillow that race that was doing an engine swap, like right at the edge of the asphalt and the dirt. And we went by multiple times with water sliding down the pavement under their car while they're laying under trying to change their motor.
Mud.
In mud. Sorry, not sorry.
I think they got heroic
party
fix.
racing.
Because
think
she
they
ended
did.
up coming to Thunderhill that year and was hanging out with Amanda, who had come out to run the WAP and the various other cars on there. So yeah, I think she hated it not because you guys made mud, but because she's like, I want to be on that trailer drinking with those people because they're fun and this sucks, but we're going to make this car run. Oh, all right. So, and this is all stuff after the checkers. You do all this kind of crap after the checkers, but we're talking about like, literally green to checker flag. So you can't be boozing it up. There's some stuff in here about being productive.
And sometimes that's hard, right? So one of the things that drives me nuts, I was really hoping that Corey was going to be on this one too, because we love to make fun of Corey. Look, everybody loves Corey, right? We love to make fun of Corey because he used to show up with basically a duffel bag of tools.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
I'm not even kidding. Like every wrench he owns, the sockets, you name it. He just dumped it all in a bag. And like, he's like, it's in the bag. I was like, Corey, where's the 10 millimeter? It's in the bag. Like,
I don't have 45 minutes to go through a 2 foot by 4 foot by 1 foot deep bag of tools.
No, it was this big. It was this big. It was like a lunchbox. It's like, how'd you get all that stuff in that little bag?
So we used to look. We were all in our 20s and 30s when we started this. Dean and I had been racing together since 2010. We built the car behind Tim there in Connecticut in 2010, and we were really disorganized. So as we grew up and got wiser, we've made various attempts, and I think most recently Dean probably did. The reason he had this on here, he had the wherewithal to put together a mobile toolbox, and so like having stuff that's labeled, you can find everything in a second, saves so much time. And what we found is like other people are coming to us like, hey, do you have this thing? We're like, yes, I can put a hand on it. So yes, some teams are better than others. All that to say, it's worth it. There's so much time and effort that gets put in outside of race day that really is worthwhile and makes race day go that much more smoothly. But yeah, keeping things tidy while you're working at the track.
Well, because if the car comes in the hook and it's an easy fix, you're scrambling. And that's not when you want your tools scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I threw it over here in frustration someplace. You've got that kind of time, but we're losing laps. Come on. So having everything labeled and put back in place, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
But then other things like I went to this auction site and I bought these 2 giant purple like lounge chairs, and I had to get. You've got to like have the decor match, so I bought a zebra and cheetah carpet to go in front of them. But I'll tell you what, those things are damn comfortable, and when you're sitting around at the track, it's a hell of a lot better than a $12 Walmart like camping chair.
Which is going to fail. Always going to fail. Yeah, those purple chairs. Yeah,
they're awesome. They're awesome. But having that, like have coffee. Like I usually do breakfast in the morning. I'll make a bunch of bacon, pancakes, eggs. Like I'll run them over to the judges and the staff. And, if there's a team that's like hammering on a car and you can see they're struggling to get ready for green, I'm like, hey, you guys need some pancakes or some bacon or something? Like, it's amazing what bacon can do to somebody's attitude.
That's true. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good one on there. Yeah, helping other teams, tools, stuff like that. That is all rock solid advice. Yeah. I got to go grab another drink. I would love it if you would tell our listeners, because we've bastardized it a few times, but the whole story behind the evolution of the Speedos board meetings and then how that became the chalice of failure.
Okay. Okay.
That's plenty of time to get a drink.
Yeah. I'll see you in 2 hours.
And the reason is it underscores, the evolution of your team, because as the car behind Tim started getting faster, you guys had to start going, maybe we shouldn't down a bottle of Jaeger every night because now we're doing 105. But it shows the evolution.
We didn't say that. We didn't say that.
Okay. But it keeps an emphasis on the fun while kind of going towards, maybe we back off 1% here and we try harder 10% there.
Yeah. So the crux of it is, I mean, we were all late 20 somethings, early 30 somethings. We're going to dominate, right? It was all very much alpha male engineers on the team originally. This is a little bit before Tim's time, but he's heard this story times. Anyway, we didn't have much of a theme the first couple of years. The car was black. It was boring. It was a stupid third gen. Wasn't particularly quick. Was very unreliable. We finally had Judge Phil actually give us a throwdown to say, hey, you guys need to get a theme, or basically GTFO. I mean, he didn't say that, but you guys remember Judge Phil. So we don't see him that much anymore, but so he said, hey, you guys need to go do a theme for Roger Smith, who was the CEO of GM like in the 70s. And so we all, we're a bunch of nerds, right? We all did our research. We showed up wearing 70s like serious actual retro suits we bought from like secondhand stores and stuff. And I got pictures for this. Ironically, Tim went and picked up the hood from that car and from that theme 2 days ago in California. There's another story there. The hood from that car finally made it to California with the Roger Smith decal still on it. Anyway, so that was our first taste of like, okay, we finally broke down. We did the theme thing. Again, type A nerdy engineers like, it's not that much fun. We want to go fast, right? At that time, it was fun. So Phil's like, all right, okay, you guys kind of nailed that. We showed up with name tags, CEO of executive ball washing. Like we went pretty hard on that theme. Everybody loved it. Okay, so go do something else, right? And we bounced a couple things around. Spaceballs theme, and at that time, LMFAO was kind of a big deal. This was like 2010, 11, somewhere in there, 13, 12, anyway, whatever. Numbers are hard. And somebody said, sorry for party racing. I think it was Travis. And like, we all like stopped. We're like, wait a minute. What did you say? Sorry for party racing? Yeah, that's got legs. So yeah. Needless to say, the partyrockclothing.com website got like bombarded by all 5 of us. It was such a stupid, fun idea. It was just like, all right, we're all going to run with this. I mean, we probably spent more money on costumes that year and vinyl and all the crap for it than we did on the car. And as much as, yes, we were still serious about bringing the car and trying to make it work and finish races, the response from everybody else when we showed up, like I can remember Kim's face. We walked into this was in Monticello, I think.
Yeah, the one time
it was like a perfect debut spot.
I walked in those stupid biker shorts and nothing else, and it's 40 degrees out, and Kim looked at me and she's like, who is this guy? Who is this muscle-bound guy wearing no clothes at a Lemons race? And Mark's walking around slamming his junk at people. Like it was so absurd and ridiculous that we all grabbed it and ran with it.
Yes. And it to me, it strikes me as like, the David Letterman joke where, oh man, it's really, really funny. And what is funny? And then, okay, it's not funny. Stop doing it. No, stop doing it. No, stop doing it. You're not funny. Okay, it's a little funny. Okay, it's funny. Okay, you totally made it funny again.
Funnier and funnier, and like, anyway, all that to say, after a couple of years of doing the party racing theme, I think Phil was the guy again who came back and was like, "Hey guys, clearly, the Roger Smith thing was great. Party racing, a lot of fun. Like, time for a new theme. You guys are really good at theming. You should do something else." We're like, "Nope."
Sorry, buddy. This is as far as it goes.
Too much fun. It's too much fun. We're in West Virginia popping bottles, spraying champagne around the paddock on Tech Day. Like, that's fun. I don't care who you are.
And I'm gonna sell these guys out. So if you find yourself out here on the West Coast, it's not hard to find this team because it's Corey's there, Dean, Jackie. You got your both of you guys have all your friends that you bring. It's usually 3 cars, if not upwards of 5.
You've had 4 or 5 if you count Jimmy Varelis and
absolutely, yeah, all those guys that the ugly brown Camaro and all those guys, and go talk to them. They've all got great stories. Get Matt to tell you the story of how he got. Well, it wasn't just you had some help, but Walmart banned Lemons racers in, was it Connecticut or Summit Point? That it was Connecticut.
That was Connecticut.
We are banned from Walmarts.
At least
which
that
was
one.
Just the one, because half the employees, this was in the days when Walmart would let RVs camp out, and the track wouldn't let us in until Friday morning, like late Friday morning. It was usually kind of something stupid. So everyone would meet in this Walmart and, start drinking at 10 o'clock. And it looked like a Lemons paddock because we'd have them all set up. All the RVs would be in a circle. We keep walking into the Walmart and buying stuff. Half the Walmart employees are coming out partying with us and they're drinking and all of that. And we're going in there and you can't have open containers. And then they would just pound their beers and be like, hey, whatever.
Not an open container anymore.
Called an empty container.
The Fantastic Shark. That's all great stuff.
A lot of Lemons history for sure.
Yes. I'm trying to, the Summit Point one was where Chrissy found the strip club that had $1.75. What's the brewery in Pennsylvania? Oh God.
Yingling, PBR.
Yingling, yeah, thank you. They had $1.75 Yingling at a strip club, and so like Lemons invaded in there, and
there was a bunch of teams, right? The whole Vermont crew went. I mean, it was like
yes.
One of the years we all showed up wearing the LMFAO gear, and these girls are like taking the wigs off of us and bringing them on stage. It's like,
yeah. And honestly, for as ridiculous as we all were, that was probably the most respectful crowd they've ever had in that strip club ever. Oh, all right. That is awesome. So yes, organize your tools, or actually don't organize your tools, organize your friends' tools for them, which is, one of the things that I know Chris and I bonded over the first time we ever raced together is we were with Jim Thwaite, and his tools were just a pile on the trailer and we just couldn't stand it. So we just started organizing them in rows on the wood so we could find all of those on that one. The prep on that one, camping, track walks, because while the race is going, obviously you can't walk on the track, but you can walk around the track and see how different people are taking that. Yeah. Yep. And then I think everyone loves this about you guys, and that includes the staff, is the team that are having the most miserable time, you still make them feel welcome. They're over there with a terrible car and they're wrenching on it and they hate their life. And what the hell were we thinking? And then this dude comes over wearing a box on his head and he offered us bacon, and it was the greatest day ever.
Or Tim and his disco ball helmets that he made.
Oh, that's right. The disco ball helmet. I forgot about that. Yeah, that one. And also Tim's got a dog. And if Zoe comes to the track and she's not wearing her zebra costume, she's pissed.
Yeah, she loves that, man.
She will actually begin to vocally cry until someone puts her zebra costume on her, because she knows everyone pays attention to her when she does that. That is fantastic. What else am I missing?
I will let a secret out. I tried and failed at one of the races to actually get a local petting zoo to bring a zebra to the track for Friday. I was really close. But they couldn't figure out how to transport it there. And I was like, "You're not putting that thing in my box trailer. I'll tell you that right now."
Why not, Tim?
I know. Like the petting zoo with like all the feral children running around with a real zebra, like right next to Tech would have been amazing. I'm still gonna try to work that out, but
all right,
it's gotta happen.
Don't tell the staff, and it's okay because if it's me, Tim, or Corey judging, we already know, so it's fine. But everyone else, shh. Yeah, all right. Well, they'll bring the zebra. That'll be awesome. What else are we?
Also, yes, as much as we like, okay, like the Corvette Challenge thing, very much real racing. We pretty much just do lemons to entertain ourselves anymore. Like no one's trying to win anything. I've lost count of how many lemons races I've been to. I listen to Tim's dumb ideas, I execute on them. He listens to my dumb ideas, he executes on them. I mean, we are literally children.
Yes.
Playing
yes.
Yeah.
I remember this during 2020, like having a conversation with people, because they'd all been locked in their houses, and there was, some consideration to, we shouldn't have these races. And enough people like kind of came to the powers that be and said, you do not understand how much I need this, because Monday through Friday, I'm normal, and that's not who I am. And I need this outlet. I've openly said 1,000 times that crime would be up 3% in this country if we didn't have lemons, not because we're evil, but because very smart people are bored. And they've got to do something.
That's a bad scenario.
Yes, exactly. Donnie would have a Lex Luthor headquarters that sinks into a swamp, henchmen in jumpsuits, the whole 9 yards, not because he wants
cat with a steel hand. Yeah,
exactly. Because he got it bit off by a gator, so and not because he's evil and he wants to see the world burn, but because he's like, well, this is just boring. I need to do something weird and dumb. I shudder to think what would happen to Zach if Zach didn't have the van and ball that he's, going to disappoint him, and he's going to end up crashing on my couch a couple times this year, driving back and forth.
Everybody support Zach. Like the feat he's trying to do is remarkable. Like do anything you can to give that guy a hand.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And he's not making any money. And if he makes money, it's all going to a cancer charity, and he's raising awareness. So it's just awesome. So to turn your absurdity into charitable, that's awesome. What are we missing? What else? What is the most amazing thing you've ever done while you couldn't be drinking at the track? So like green flag to checker flag, not in the car. Funniest fun. What?
Well, I'll give you a fun one that was another new team. So we were at Button Willow, and the Stanford kids, their first race, they're in the garage next to us, and those guys were hysterical. They got it. Like they were doing like stop wrenching, everyone drop what you're doing, everyone dropping, give me 25, and they're all like doing push-ups, and like it was so cool. And I was like, I love these kids. So I went and I had the pancake maker out, and I made the Stanford logo with the tree in the middle with the big S, and you have to do it backwards. So when you flip the pancake over, it's right. So I'm like trying to figure out how to do it back. So I made this giant
sitting there with his Stanford phone looking at the image.
I made this giant Stanford logo pancake, and I put it on a plate, and then I put like 20 more pancakes on top of it. And I went over to the kids, and I was like, "Hey, you guys want some pancakes?" They're like, "Yeah, I like some pancakes." So they're like eating their way to the bottom, and they get to the bottom, and they're like, "What?" Like all of them lost their minds. So it's like little dumb stuff like that. And it's so fun to just like light people's candle.
That is amazing. I love that. You got anything, Matt? I feel like, everything's going to be paling in comparison to that, but
I mean, I don't even know where to start. So since you're, I don't even know. I really don't. I don't know where to start. We could do this all night. One story per beer, and we could do this all night.
We need more beer.
Need a lot more beer.
One that popped up since you're headed to Alabama. Last time I was there was with you.
2020.
The Miata guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned 2020 and shut down. That was the year that I just squeaked out the championship because I refused to stop racing, and I managed to get.
Hey,
to
who'd you
one more
beat, Matt?
point than Mitchell.
Who'd you beat? Who is it that you beat that year?
There was a couple people named Chris.
Well, actually, you crushed me going into Road Atlanta, but it was 1 point when I killed Godzilla.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh well.
But so thinking about Alabama though, Donnie's buddies, the Florida Man Racing, they showed up.
Yes.
They showed
Oh
up with
God, I
that
forgot about
Nissan
that one.
thing. They showed up with that Nissan thing. And if you understand the floors of that, they're like it's sandwich metal with some kind of like sound deadening before the actual steel. And they had installed their roll cage on top of the top layer.
Yes.
And it was a bolt-in.
And of course it failed.
And of course it failed.
Yes.
And so I can't help myself but try and help people. Like I really can't help myself sometimes. And I ended up begging and borrowing welders from people, begging and borrowing tools to accomplish this, grinders. I didn't know anybody at that track.
And it was raining, and you were welding all weekend under a 4x4, easy up.
And burning through the 2 layers of junk, the sound deadening between those layers. I breathed all that crap, and working on this car from 2 a.m. to run a bead around each of these plates they had put in this car. I mean, long story, but like it was a lot of work for a car that really never made it on track. They couldn't get it running right. But sometimes you put in the karma, right? You put in the effort to help somebody else out. We still had a great weekend. I was happy.
And Jerry fell in love with you, and he's like, "Man, that Matt fella. Oh, is that his car? No." he just hates that it's not ready. There you go. All right. Karma. I like that one. And what's your favorite way of wrapping up the whole concept of karma? You've got a phrase.
Don't be a dick, be a dude. It's really
there.
Simple.
It is.
It's that simple.
There's no, I don't believe in any greater power enforcing karma, but I do believe karma is a human construct, right? We have, I look at the smile on Tim's face. We have put in a lot of Lemon's karma over the years, and we have extracted the joy from that. So,
yes,
grateful for that.
All right,
very much so.
Brilliant. All right, real quick, nerd. Tomorrow is Groundhog Day. And all of us have moved away from places that have groundhogs. Here in Las Vegas, we have Mojave Max. And he doesn't emerge he's a desert tortoise, and he doesn't emerge and see a shadow. Basically, when he comes out of his burrow, winter is over. No predictions. It is or it isn't. Zeros or ones. Welcome to Las Vegas. In Southern California, where Matt is, they have Mojave Maxine. Same drill. She's a desert tortoise. She lives at the Desert Springs habitat. But Tim, where you are normally, Northern California, in Wells, California, they have Chuck Wood, who is a woodchuck. But he's an animatronic woodchuck, and he just drinks beer, and he talks about it. But they have a huge Groundhog Day festival in Wells, California.
Amazing.
So
how have I not been there?
What are we doing tomorrow, Tim?
Oh, we're going home, baby. Let's go.
So there you guys have it. So good luck to everybody tomorrow. I hope you do not have a Bill Murray groundhog type thing. I feel like the East Coast is getting the crap kicked out of it enough. And I do hope that Poxitani Phil does not see a shadow and you guys don't get any more 6 weeks of winter. But that is not even just the tip, because as proper guest host who believe in karma and believe in making everything better, Tim actually went and did some research and has a just the tip.
All right. This just the tip is grinding safety. Now we all do the safety glasses. Yeah, you can always put on your safety glasses and the squinty glasses, right? Yeah. So if you have to take your guard off, we get it. But like, do the proper things. Put the glasses on. Like, a shard in the eye is a really bad thing. If you're prone to it, put earbuds in. Like, it's loud grinding on that stuff.
And even though you think you can take it, it's the long term stuff, man. As a guy who's lost half the hearing in one of his ears, you just don't want to be there, man.
Yeah.
If Dean were here, he would say, put on motorcycle gloves. They're built to take abrasion, a little bit more dexterous than a big welding glove.
Yeah, he swears by him. He's like, I definitely would have had some chunks missing if it wasn't for those motorcycle gloves.
And those are in addition to the chunks he does have missing.
The slow learner. What are you gonna say? And watch where you're throwing sparks. All right, I'm gonna give you this is a personal example where I thought I was okay. I built a barbecue, one of those big barbecues in my backyard, aluminum studs to build it, stone walls, the whole deal. So I've got a chop saw with a metal blade on it, and I'm like, I don't know, 5-6 feet away from my house, and there's the screen is there, and I'm like, cutting metal. I get done and I look, and there's just metal shavings all over this screen door that I put in last year. So it's big slider, and it's got pock marks in all of the glass of my new slider. My wife is like, what the hell is going on? I was like 6 feet away, and I had the screen closed, the whole thing. So watch where your sparks go. Throw them away from things, away from flammable things. Like, take a second and look around and be like, oh, look at that big can of gasoline right there. Let me not grind next to that.
And you found a website that kind of reinforces that. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a link. Tim sent this. He posted this in our group chat. So this is apparently a thing, you know,
who knew?
Spark awareness. Absolutely something that you're going to want to pay attention to.
So Matt, why don't you tell the crowd that's on the podcast what you're looking at right now?
Yeah. So it's, what was the name of it, Tim?
Imagine Grinder Girls is what comes up.
Yeah. So it's,
they're available for your event. So if you can't get that zebra,
you get a grinder, and you get women that are dressed in burlesque, grinding metal and shooting sparks.
So the way that I found this is not because I have some weird fetish, but
sure.
there was a well, I do, but not this one.
Well, I didn't until I saw this, and now, yeah.
There was a TikTok reel going around of this girl sitting on the floor grinding a piece of metal, and the sparks are going right between her legs, and I was like, someone needs to tell her to watch her sparks. And then so I tried to find that again, and that previous website is what I found. So I was like, huh, I didn't know that was a thing. But humanity never disappoints.
Especially with grinders, one of the problems with that, you know, it's just going to be this real quick thing. I just got to get this one little nip off, or this one little piece off, you know, and yeah, you don't pay attention to where, you know, I ruined a race seat once, you know, just trying to grind this thing off real quick, threw a bunch of sparks right into a thing, and it just melted through the fire resistant cover, but that doesn't mean it won't melt. It just means it won't flame up. So yeah. A valid and honest safety tip from our man, Tim. So, all right. Next show promo. I don't know what we're doing. I think probably by the time you guys listen to this one, I'll be fired. It'll be the Tim and Matt show. I'll still say subscribed. It won't be any bad. It'll be a great thing. Do you guys you've got the Sorry for Party Insta, right? Is there anything else media wise you guys want to throw out there?
Check out our wrap-up video, the Lemons World episode they did on us. If you want to look at additional stupid things.
We will have that linked in the show notes. Yes. Write that down.
but yeah, no, we've got the Party Racing Instagram. We've got we do have a Facebook page. We're not super active on there. We probably could be more active with as much as we have going on, but we tend to be doers more than posters. But it's it takes all kinds, right?
Just if you're at a race, come and check us out. We'd love to meet you, say hello, have a drink with you. And if you hear board meeting, come running.
Or run away. Just oh, all right. Thank you guys both very much for being here. This was fantastic. We all had just absolute bears of weeks. So to make this happen, I'm not kidding. This was great. Thank you all very much. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Listener, thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. And we hope that you will join us in the world of driving, racing, building, and partying, because everyone can be a racer, even you. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, subscribe, totally free. Then go over to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. If you're watching this on YouTube, click that thumbs up thing, because that's how the algorithm works. And then click subscribe and click notify me, because that'll all work out as well. If you've got a show idea or a comment, drop us a line on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers. Email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text me. I got pictures of junk last week. It's fantastic. 484-243-0455 on the IG, on the YouTube, even Reddit at /E1R. Thank you again for listening, and keep the shiny side up. Unless those beats are just too dope, then keep the zebra side down. All right, I got to hit stop recording, but I minimize the screen. So, all right, I'll be